Well, I finally decided after more than 62 years as a ham radio operator that it was time for me to learn to do some restorations. I had collected quite a bit of antique amateur radio equipment, and it turns out that no one else is really wanting to do this for you unless you want to mail it off halfway across the country to the very few people who do this for pay. And some of these pieces weigh 80, 90, 100 pounds, so shipping costs both ways would be prohibitive. I don't know that much at all about electronics, theory or practice, so I had a lot of help along the way from Hal Kennedy and N4GG, but all the work was done by me. I basically cleaned and repaired, replaced lots of components inside, cleaned up the face plate and painted the case. I did find a graphics company right here in Cumming, Georgia that redid the face plate or dial of the VFO for me. The old one was made of a heavy paper and it had degraded over 50, 60 years. This new one is printed on something called styrene, which is basically plastic paper, so it will never again be subject to degradation from moisture. Let's hear what it sounds like here on 160 meters. We'll move up to 80 meters. I may not be going the right. Good strong tones. The note gets a little raspy as you go up to 10 meters, but this is not going to be used on that high a frequency. Mostly 80 and 40, maybe occasionally 20. It was an interesting project. It took me a long time. I made a lot of missteps along the way, found different ways to do things, do them over. But as you can see, the result came out just fine. Surprisingly, repainting the case did not prove to be that hard a job to do. Hammer tone paint went on just fine. I did horizontal surfaces only on the painting, allowed them to dry fully before rotating the case to paint another horizontal surface. Highly encourage my ham radio friends to jump in and try their hand at restoring. This was a fairly simple project. It's not nearly as complex as a transmitter or receiver, but the result was very satisfying to me. 73 from K8EAB, Metro Atlanta, Georgia.